Welcome to the Haunted Hangover podcast. I'm Louie, and I'm joined by Sam.
Hello.
And Chris. No, it's actually gonna. You want to hear something funny? I'm glad you did that, Chris, because I was actually gonna have us do our best Tim Allen impression here at the top of the show. And from the sounds of it, yours isn't very good.
Get us right into it. That was fucking great. What are you talking about?
Let's hear that again. Let me hear it one more time.
That was terrible.
You sound like a dying cow over here or something. Well, isn't it more like a Sammy, let's hear it.
Don't make me do it.
You have no choice.
You gotta
do it.
That stunk.
That's like a dead donkey. That's what that dying donkey. Is that really what it sounds like to you, Sammy?
To me it does.
I'll be honest, I'm not a fan of Tim Allen's weird grunting noises that he makes.
I'm not a fan of Tim Allen, apparently.
Oh, see, I'm monster Tim Allen fan.
Tim Allen fan.
I love Tim Allen.
Now, so this is a question Chris can answer. I don't remember. Was the grunting just a home improvement thing, or did he do that in the movies like Santa Claus and stuff like that too?
I think like at first he was like, kind of an actor and like acting other than the home improvement role, but then like in the 90s that became like his biggest thing, right? So everything after that is kind of, he does, like winks and nods to it. Even on like his other TV shows that he's done after Home Improvement, it's the same thing. He has like, Easter eggs to the crowd kind of thing of like the Tim Allen grunt.
I always just thought, so like I know he was like a stand-up comic.
Right.
But I was like, did he do that on stage? He was like, I'm over here. Like, did he do did he start a joke or end the joke with the grunting? I always thought it was bizarre. I don't know I never thought it was funny. It was just
I think it's like
strange.
like his manly man thing, like his
Okay.
epitome of manliness.
I can't. I'm trying to do it.
Sammy's trying here.
But the thing is that like he's also like he's mocking. It's not like it's not genuine. Right. So like I think I can get away with that.
Yeah.
Yes,
okay.
The donkey sound. The donkey sound works. We're obviously talking about a home improvement episode, Halloween episode, guys. Hence the grunting and the noises and the Tim Allen talk. Wait. More. There you go. Wait, that was another. He has like his own language.
Yeah. And it's in the intro.
Yes, the intro of the show.
That's so silly.
There we go. I think that grunt is better than the other grunt you did, Chris. So I think you one up it. It was a one up there. It went up a notch.
Hell yeah.
But yes, home improvement. Chris, I'm gonna let you start here because you said you're a huge Tim Allen fan. Were you a home improvement guy?
Abso-fucking-lutely.
Of course.
Like Home Improvement was like my family's show in the 90s. Like it was like appointment television. We watched that shit every single week. And I personally also watched all of Tim Allen's next comedy series that he did on ABC like in the early 2000s, which was basically the same show as Home Improvement, but instead of 3 sons, he had 3 daughters.
Wait,
it was called Last Man Standing.
Was that the more recent one?
Yeah,
that was more recent.
Long.
And then he has another one. He has another one that just started this past season on ABC also, where he plays like a car mechanic. Kat Dennings plays his daughter.
Oh, yes. I watched one episode of that. Yes.
I watched that too. I will watch anything with Tim Allen in it. I know like this is not a political podcast and everyone's like, oh, but he's a Republican. Blah, 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 blah. Whatever. I don't give a shit. Tim Allen is the king of the 90s. And I undisputed will stand by that for the rest of my life. I love Tim Allen.
I think the most impressive thing about Tim Allen is I'm pretty sure he makes all his money by voicing Buzz Lightyear and doing these like random ass sitcoms.
And like the residuals from his sitcoms must be through the roof.
Yeah, I mean, he knows his brand.
You can't turn on like a TV channel without seeing one of his shows on there somewhere.
You know what? I take that back. It's Buzz Lightyear, one of his random sitcoms, and Santa Claus, because he's come back to Santa Claus.
That's Santa Claus.
Wait, hasn't he played that version of Santa Claus like five times?
A Disney Plus TV series about it recently.
What the fuck? What am I doing? What am I doing here right now?
I'm a Tim Allen aficionado. Clearly, I know my Tim Allen.
I'm just like, where have I been? There's a Disney series.
I never watched it, so
well,
Chris
now
is
I
in the
want
minority.
to.
Chris is in the minority because neither one of us have watched any. I watched the new Kat Dennings show. I watched like 1 or 2 episodes on Disney Plus, and I was like, okay, moving on.
I get it.
It didn't spark me to go back and continue the show.
Yeah,
That's funny.
Tim Allen for me was just like that '90s guy. I wouldn't say like, and obviously Sammy's probably in the same boat as me. Tim Allen just existed. I think we watched Home Improvement when it was on. It wasn't something we like religiously watched. It was more like reruns, and then obviously like all the movies, Santa Claus. Right. What was the other one he was in? Jungle to Jungle. He was
Jungle to Jungle. Mimi Siku.
Yes.
Mimi Siku means cat
He also
prince.
did that Christmas movie with Jamie Lee Curtis.
Which was great. The Cranks.
Christmas with the Cranks.
Yes.
Christmas with the
I love
Cranks. So silly. I loved it.
And like Galaxy Quest was in the
That's
90s.
a great
Galaxy
show.
Quest. Not enough people have seen
He's the
Galaxy
king
Quest.
of the 90s.
Yeah, no, for sure.
But still working. So he's
Still
again,
working.
those 3 things are bringing home all the bacon. So
Yeah.
they're making a Toy Story, 5 or 6 now?
I think it's 5 or 6.
I thought they retired it.
I don't know. They should have ended that series like
cash cow.
2 or 3 movies ago. I don't know what they're doing anymore with Toy Story. But yeah, Sammy, I'm assuming you agree with me that we weren't really like growing up. We didn't really. Home Improvement was just kind of on, right? Like we didn't. Really...
Home Improvement wasn't like a big one for me. And we could talk about this again now that I've kind of like revisited it. And I think now that I'm an adult human person, like I know what bothers me. It's not Tim Allen. It's not Tim Allen. Tim Allen's great. Santa Claus, also, I'm 33 years old and I just found out like last year, it's the Santa Claus.
Yes.
A clause
in his contract.
It's a clause is a contract. And like, I fucking love that movie so much.
It's a great movie. Great Christmas movie.
So like, not a Tim Allen hater. I love Toy Story. You know, his voice, he's just like a TV dad, and he will always be the TV dad. So like, yeah, but Home Improvement, I don't know. We didn't watch it a lot. I feel like it was just on. And I was also really young when that show started. I wasn't even born when it started.
I just remember it being on. It wasn't appointment television for me. It's one of those shows when I caught it. Like I caught it when I did. It was an ABC show, right, Chris?
Yeah. And I think at one time, like it was the highest rated network show on TV for a while. Like it was wildly popular. I mean, look, we're doing an episode on it 30 years later, right? Like,
I mean, even though I didn't like religiously watch Home Improvement, it was like you said, it was such a popular show. I knew Wilson and Al.
Right.
You knew the characters.
JTT.
Yeah, Jonathan Taylor Thomas. Come on.
The girls loved him.
Yes.
The girls loved that boy.
Pamela Anderson was on the show, like as the Tool Time girl for a little while.
Yeah, I mean, it's just one of those shows. Kind of like I feel like I remember like if I'm comparing like Roseanne. Being on more, at least the TVs we were around, Sam and I.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like that was on more. Family Matters, Home Improvement. I don't know. Even Step by Step, I feel like I watched that more as a kid than I did Home Improvement. Yeah. Like when it came to just kind of all those sitcoms. Again, well, like I did enjoy it. What?
Roseanne and Home Improvement weren't like TGIF shows though, right? Like they were just straight up like ABC sitcoms during the week, right? Like that's where those two were different, and therefore I feel like had I don't want to say like larger reach, but I think they did. Like TGIF was like a very particular audience, like us younger people, whereas like Roseanne and Home Improvement were straight up on like the best night of television of the week. If I'm not mistaken, I think they were on the same night on ABC.
I don't remember the
People tuned in.
Right.
I mean, it's kind of crazy to think that network television was such a big deal. Like you think it's not a big deal anymore because of streaming. But when you think about it, you got Roseanne, Home Improvement, Full House, Step by Step, Family Matters. Fresh
Yeah,
Prince
like,
of Bel-Air.
The 80s and the 90s were like the peak of that, right? Like for like network television sitcoms.
What are the big shows now?
Beats the shit out of me.
I will say,
Like on television?
I'm surprised that there are some like sitcom shows that have done very well in this last century, 20th,
right?
Whatever. Like Modern Family was very successful.
Yeah, you're right.
Schitt's Creek is technically a sitcom, very successful.
The Office, I guess, technically is a
The Office. Gracie and Frankie, which was with Jane Fonda. Okay. Very popular show.
Never watched
but
that.
But those are considered sitcoms because they're like sets. Like it's there's not
right.
Yeah.
The traditional like fourth wall 3-camera shit.
A little different. Like Modern Family is like the last, I would say, though, of like the family sitcoms. Like they don't really do that anymore. They do that on Disney Channel, but we don't see that like on prime time television.
Well, because of streaming, I think. Now it's like everything's direct to streaming, so it's a little
also like
different.
I don't feel like as many people are interested in like seeing the families on the TV. I don't know what that is.
No one cares about families. It's family.
It's a different time. So there's something to be studied there.
Yeah,
there's something to be studied there.
It's interesting just because we've covered. We did earlier this year. We did Boy Meets World, which again. Big show around the same time. So it's just crazy to think that just all these shows were just hit after hit after hit after hit. Kind of crazy. Now, in the off chance you have no idea what Home Improvement is, I got to do it.
It's got to be.
It's the tradition of the show. We got to break down what the show is about. So Home Improvement follows the escapades of Tim the Toolman Taylor, Tim Allen, the host of a TV show called Tool Time, where he and his co-host Al often show the audience and the viewers at home how to repair stuff around the house. It's almost like a Home Depot show. It's like that's basically what it is. It's like, this is how you use this tool and build.
It's like a corporate sponsored show by that. The company in the show is Binford Tools.
Yeah, so it's like, they show you how to fix your porch. And,
just like DIY stuff.
Yeah, and the gimmick is basically they fail drastically, or Tim fails drastically a lot of the time just due to his machismo attitude. Mm-hmm. And Al is the smarter of the two hosts, and he tends to be the one that's kind of straight-laced and by the book, and, everything's perfect. He almost has like OCD. It's kind of how you like watching it back now. I actually watched a bunch of episodes the last couple weeks. It's kind of like he has like OCD and he's just like socially awkward but very kind of a corporate guy.
He's like the classic straight man to Tim Allen's wackiness.
Yeah. And again, Tim Allen, he's constantly just making mistakes and fucking up everything they do. We also follow Tim's family, which include his wife, Jill, and 3 sons, Brad, Mark, and Randy. And they go through all kinds of insanity that you'd expect on a sitcom, including some more serious subject matter, like in certain episodes. When they felt it was appropriate, I remember there was one where like Jonathan Taylor Thomas's character might be dying of cancer. And that was like a more serious episode. And
we gotta touch on these subjects.
Did you ever see, there was some documentary about the Stephen Colbert show in the 90s that aired after Home Improvement.
Oh no.
The Dana Carvey show rather, that aired after Home Improvement. And it was Dana Carvey's variety show, and that episode of Home Improvement where they thought Randy had cancer, somewhere along the way in the Dana Carvey show, they thought it would be good to have sponsors introduce the show. So they would have like the Diet Coke presents Dana Carvey show. So they showed a commercial, and this aired in the 90s, and they showed the commercial for the episode, and it was like a very special Home Improvement. And they show like the clips of Tim like saying, we're going to get through this. And it's like a very special episode of Home Improvement, followed by the Diet Mug Root Beer Dana Carvey show. And they show it to like Steve Carell and Stephen Colbert, and they fucking lose it because it's so ridiculous.
ABC Tuesday, a parent's worst fear, losing a child.
I don't want to die, Dad.
You never know whose family it will happen to.
I know you're scared, I know how you feel.
An episode so powerful, it hits home.
We'll beat this thing, no matter what it is, I'm not letting anything happen to you.
A special Home Improvement followed by the Diet Mug Root Beer Dana Carvey Show, all new ABC Tuesday.
I mean, it's true. Like all the shows had, like again, they had like
the very special episodes. They had to do it.
Yeah,
We're talking about a Halloween silly feel good episode, but all these sitcoms, Full House had it. You know, they all had the smoking pot or cigarette episode, or the he touched me inappropriate episode. Or, they've all had it.
The dramatic piano would play in the background.
And, they all had that. And Home Improvement had its fair share. They all these shows followed the same formula. It was all silly episodes and a couple of serious ones.
Someone got in trouble and you got to get yourself out of it.
This one got arrested. It's like the episode of Fresh Prince where the cops arrest Will and Carlton. And Uncle Phil has to go because because they're black. You pulled them over. Remember that episode?
Hey, yes. That's a good fucking episode.
That is a good episode.
That's a good episode.
That's an awesome episode.
Timeless.
No, that was a really good episode. And stuff like that. Like they all had that. So it's so interesting when you rewatch these episodes now where you could like stream them. It'll go from the stupidest, silliest plot to a really serious one. After that. So it's just again because you'd have to wait a week. So, the feelings could change up and you can go, oh, wow, this is the episode where DJ smokes drugs or something. Yeah.
And the narrator's always like, in a can't miss episode of Full House.
Yeah. Where the son has to date the daughter next door who's so rebellious.
Yeah. I will say, I still think
are worried.
I still think Fresh Prince did those episodes the best.
They nailed.
Remember the one with the dad who showed up?
Yeah,
infamous episode. And he comes with the statue, and he leaves the statue.
And that's the end of the episode. It's just the statue.
And then Uncle Phil comes and hugs him because that's like his real father figure. That one hits you. That one hits you in the heart.
He yells at him. Yeah.
I guess you're right in the feels.
Yeah. So some of them, I don't remember Home Improvement get me in the feels.
Nah.
So yeah, that's Home Improvement, guys. If you have not seen it, you're probably under the age of 25 listening to this show for some reason. But yes, we're going to be discussing probably one of, I don't want to say best Halloween episodes, and I don't want to be negative here at the top, but one of the most Halloween-y episodes.
Halloween-y.
It's got a lot of Halloween-y vibes. It's just like to a T. When you think of 90s sitcom Halloween specials, this is the episode. This is like one of the episodes, I think, along with some other ones we've covered, like the Boy Meets World one, Roseanne, all those good ones. I'd say a lot of people kind of go back to these because Home Improvement did have a lot of Halloween specials.
Yeah.
The show aired from 91 to 99, 8 seasons, and I'm pretty sure, excluding the first season, I think every season after that had a Halloween episode for the most part. So we can definitely revisit Home Improvement again. Maybe we'll revisit one of the more serious episodes. That wouldn't fit this show at all.
We're gonna Jonathan Taylor Thomas cancer scare.
No, we'll stick to spooky pumpkins.
It was a nick in time. It was a nick in time. I remember those commercials for that episode. Crazy.
Yeah, it was real serious. Apparently, mug root beer, the Dana Carvey mug root beer hour.
I'm telling you got to look up the clip. It's fucking hysterical.
I'm gonna try to find it and check it out because I do not remember that. But yes, with that out of the way, let's jump into Home Improvement, Haunting of Taylor House.
It's Halloween, and we all can't be as spooky as Al here. But we can cut ourselves some frightening jack-o'-lanterns.
That's right, Tim. And as you can see, I have already carved my jack-o'-lantern.
Now, this episode is part of Season 2, Episode 6, released October 28th, 1992. Now, before I go into the breakdown, I picked this episode on purpose. And I don't even know if you guys caught on to two things in this episode that reference two things from the previous 2 Halloween episode specials we've covered.
I have it in my notes.
Did you guys pick up on that?
I have one of them in my notes for sure.
Well, one of them is very obvious.
I definitely have at least one. It's obvious. I'm
watch you guys both have two separate. It's 2 things besides Halloween, obviously.
Right.
You want me to tell you what they are?
Oh no!
Yes.
Let's hear what they are. If we guess them as we go.
All right. Okay. There's a reason why I picked this one because it plays into.
Well, hit us with the synopsis of the episode.
Yeah,
What's going on?
Let's go into
What
this
are we getting
episode.
ourselves into?
We're getting into some all kinds of spooky shenanigans. So the episode opens with Tim and Al on the set of Tool Time. Tim tries to scare Al by wearing a great looking troll mask complete with gloves. And it turns out to be a big fail. Al isn't scared. And I'll be honest, Tim isn't doing a great job trying to scare him.
No.
Really.
It's a very slow moving scare. Like he announces himself first before he even like
And he like
walks out.
caresses his face so gently.
I will say the mask, because the mask does pop up a little later in the episode.
Mm-hmm.
It's a great 90s latex
So good.
rubber mask. I don't remember seeing this back in the day, but just looking at it, it reminds me of what you'd see at like Party City in 1992 or 1991 in this case. Tim and Al head over to a couple of pumpkins and show off their carving skills, with Al carving a portrait of himself into the pumpkin, which is a running
it's not
gag.
Himself.
It's not?
No, it's Bob Vila.
Oh, is it? I
Yes.
could have sworn it was himself.
No, it's Bob Vila. That's a running joke through the show is Bob Vila, because he was like the real version of Tim Taylor at the time, right?
See,
Like, he
I
was
couldn't tell who it was, but I knew it wasn't Al.
No, yeah,
I
it's
thought it
Bob,
was-
Bob Vila.
I thought
That's
it was
so
Al.
funny.
Goes to show you how much of a home improvement.
See, I told you I'm a fan. I know
Yeah,
this.
thank God Chris is here, because I thought it was Al. I thought he carved his own face because Wilson does that later.
Right.
So I was like, oh, maybe that's like a running gag. Well, there you
That's
go,
so
Chris.
funny.
Bob Vila.
You solved that one. What's the name?
Bob Vila.
Bob
he's like
Vila.
He's like a famous, I guess, handyman, like from the 90s and 2000s.
I'm sure if I saw a picture of him, I'd be like,
Yeah,
oh,
you
that
absolutely
guy.
would. Yes.
I wouldn't.
That's so funny.
I wouldn't say in the early 90s I was too focused on handymen that were on television. Tim gets the bright idea of using explosives to carve a face into said pumpkin. Al ducks for cover, and unfortunately, after the pumpkin explodes, Al sits up, revealing his face, now covered in pumpkin's guts. It's ridiculous. You can actually see, if you pay attention, you can see Al behind that stand throwing stuff on his face. Like, if you really sit and like pay attention, you could just see him chucking. I don't know if it's probably like real pumpkin guts and like water,
honey or something.
Yeah, it's something silly like that. This is a great cold open. It kind of sets the stage for the rest of the episode. You know, it's not going to be a serious episode with the exploding pumpkin and the goblin troll mask that he tries to scare Al with. So I always remember this opening more than the rest of the episode for some reason. This is the one that anytime I watch this episode, it always comes back to me. This first 3 minutes cold open, because it's right before the opening credits. So the rest of the episode involves Tim and Jill prepping for a Halloween party for their oldest son, Brad. He's having his friends over. His little girlfriend is coming by, and they're deciding to have a Halloween feast, I guess, with them, which is interesting. You know what I noticed about this episode I thought was strange? Why weren't his other brothers, well, I guess it plays into the ending, but why weren't they involved? Why didn't any of these kids want to go trick-or-treating? They wanted to go to the party, and then his brothers go trick-or-treating. Very weird.
Yeah. But like, did they actually want to go trick-or-treating? Or did they just want to go out like toilet papering houses?
Be a menace.
Yeah.
I mean, there is a good little gag there with the kids and toilet paper and eggs and stuff. We'll get to that in a second. And basically, Jill and Tim are making gross out food like grapes and pudding to simulate eyeballs and pus. But the main attraction of this party is a haunted house that Tim built in the basement called the Catacombs of Terror. Which is, I can tell you right now, spoiler alert, the best part of this episode.
Oh yeah.
Minus one other thing that I love. But when we roll through this, I'll talk about that. So all isn't candy corn and rainbows in the Taylor house because Brad is having a little dilemma. You got to have a dilemma. Oh, exactly. Like the audience does.
Gotta be something.
Brad is dressed as Raggedy Andy and his girlfriend Jennifer, who was supposed to be dressed as Raggedy Ann, shows up with her new guy, bad boy Danny, played by Ryder Strong.
Ryder Strong.
Boy Meets World.
Full circle moment.
Pre-Boy Meets World.
Pre-Boy Meets World. He was on Boy Meets World, what, like the year after?
I think the year after.
Yeah.
Here we go. This is definitely one you had on the list. If I had a nickel for every time we covered a Halloween episode where two characters were supposed to be Raggedy Ann and Raggedy Andy and one of them backed out, I'd have 2 nickels.
Yes. Well, now that we're on this part, this is the reference. The Raggedy Ann, Raggedy Andy from the South Park episode Pink Eye, and then Ryder Strong, because we also covered earlier this year, The Boy Meets World, the boy who cried wolf, right? Boy who cried wolf.
Yeah.
So there you go. The last two Halloween specials we covered.
Moment.
That's why I chose this, because I was like, it's the two before this that we covered this year.
It's a culmination of it.
Yeah, so had to kind of tie it all together. If you haven't listened to those episodes, definitely go back and check them out. Those were a fun time. So after some words of encouragement from Tim, Brad confronts Jennifer and finds out that she's upset with him because he didn't pick her on his kickball team, I believe, or dodgeball.
Kickball or dodgeball, one or the other.
One of the two.
Because he says, I wanted to win.
Yes, he uses winning as his excuse.
Hence that from his father.
Yes, hence him not taking their relationship seriously. She literally, Jennifer, is pissed at him because of this.
Yeah.
Wow, the joys of being 8 years old or whatever he is, 9, 10, around that age. That is literally why hard life. That is why she's pissed off at him, because
so she was also on Boy Meets World, this girl.
Yeah, who did she play?
She was in a few episodes. I want to say like maybe 2 episodes in like the second season. She played this girl that Corey dated that was like weird and planning out his entire future, and then he dumped her.
Okay.
Is this the girl from Casper too?
Yes.
The mean girl?
Oh, you're right.
She is.
That's why I recognized her.
Yeah.
All the things.
She looked familiar, but I couldn't quite.
She was older in that movie, obviously.
Yes, a couple years older.
I mean, that was what, 95?
96?
So that's 96.
Right?
Yeah, so she was probably like a teenager at that point.
Yes.
Yeah, so, wow.
She's the one they wear the costume together to try and scare, what's her name? Christina Ricci.
I'll say this. For 9 or 10, she definitely plays a bitchy kid.
Yeah. Very well.
All these kids are too grown. All these kids are too grown. That was the 90s. So
they walk in.
That was the 90s.
Sean Hunter and the girl walk into the house, and him and Brad immediately like get into a fist fight. What the fuck is going on in this house?
Ryder Strong plays no games.
Yeah, he's strong.
He's strong. So Brad and Jennifer have a conversation, and Brad apologizes for his mistake. Like he did this horrible, like he had an affair on the side.
Yeah.
And he, not picking her on his team, and he's got this whole scene where they're sitting across from each other, and it's really silly, really dumb. Okay. The episode ends, and this is the best part of the episode. The episode ends with Jill taking the kids down to the catacombs of terror, where Danny starts acting all tough. Tim pops out as Nana Stein, a Frankenstein grandma. Danny calls everything pathetic, and Tim dares Danny to check out this toolbox he has set up, like a tool chest, I guess.
Yeah.
And when Danny walks over, he removes, I think it's like is it a bucket? I think.
Yes. Like a paint bucket or something.
And underneath it is Al's head, all made up like a vampire with vampire teeth. Wilson, so this scares Danny. He backs up. Wilson is dressed as a mummy and floating because they've got him strung up.
Yeah.
And this also
Face
scares.
still obscured.
Yeah, you can't make out what he looks like. This combination of scares, because there's also the little brother pops out with a severed head. So it's like Al's body, basically. You see him walking out. It's a really funny visual because he's a child, and it's like him with no head. He's the body, and then Al's decapitated vampire head. And the last gag at the very end is Al is left in the basement alone, and a real spider starts crawling on the box he's sitting in. He cries out for help. No one helps him. He just screams. And that's how Haunting of Taylor House ends.
I've seen your show. It should be called Full Time.
Making fun of Nana Steen's favorite shows. Not a good idea, son. Why don't you check out Nana's little toolbox, Marty?
I kind of tease this in the beginning that this isn't the most amazing Halloween special as far as the story goes. Like the main narrative and the plot and where things are, you're just like, okay. But Sam, what did you think? Just initial thoughts on Haunting of Taylor House.
I mean, it's got all the elements of like a good Halloween sitcom, you know? You got the spooky dookies and the costumes, and there's some kind of storyline, kind of, question mark. And then like, you know, it was fun. I enjoyed it. I had a few laughs. This is the first time I've watched Home Improvement though. Like, I want to say it since I was a kid. I've never revisited it. But interesting takeaway. I you know, Chris was like, you know, his Tim's whole character is like this machismo macho man. He's fucking arrogant.
Yeah.
I don't find, like, there was times where like I'm watching him like, dude, I would have divorced this guy already.
Some of his one-liners are in my notes as like my favorite parts of the episode because they're fucking hilarious.
They're so funny, but like kind of arrogant, this guy.
Yeah.
I loved it. I enjoyed it. I don't know. There's a lot of cool things. I love all the costumes. I love how like into it that the mother is, how she's trying to get all the snacks ready for the kids, how they're both like equally into it in their own levels of the house.
On that note, one of my favorite gags, because you mentioned Jill, one of my favorite gags is she hypes up in the episode. I didn't say it in the breakdown because I wanted to save it for the likes. And this is probably one of the best jokes.
Yeah.
Because it's a running gag through basically 75% of this 20-minute runtime. So Jill tells Tim, I have a really scary costume I rented. And then later on, when she reveals what the costume is, it's a carrot. She's a giant carrot. So
I laughed out loud when she walks in the carrot. It's fucking hysterical.
Because even like when Tim sees her for the first time in the carrot costume, he like screams like, ah! Yeah. So, and then there's a scene where one of the little girls coming to the party is dressed up as a rabbit. And he's like, I don't like how you're looking at that carrot.
Yeah.
So like there's a bunch of silly gags with the mom and the carrot costume.
I didn't understand, like, she says that she spoke to the people in the, this is me overanalyzing, but she says she spoke to the people in the costume store and they were going to give her the scariest thing that she had. And then she came in, she was like, they lost my reservation. Did you make reservations for costumes in the 90s?
Like a thing. I guess that was just like a thing in the 90s.
Okay,
So
like, because it was like really popular and crowded.
Yeah.
So I've mentioned remember Rubies, Sam?
Yeah.
You guys both remember Rubies.
Yeah, we were very lucky to have
So
been walking
Rubies,
distance to it.
Everyone knows Rubies. Rubies is a famous costume.
Right.
Yeah.
They had a big flagship store they had. I've talked about it on the show. It went out of business 2 years ago. And there you could rent costumes. So like they rented mascot type. So if you wanted to dress up as like a bear.
Elaborate costumes would
Yeah.
require
They would.
like a
You would
rental,
make,
right? Like not like an off the rack kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think it's a thing in 2025, but even up until Ruby's closed, the flagship store out here in Queens, you could still rent costumes. They had an area where if you needed like Santa Claus costume or an Easter Bunny costume, you can go to the back and they rent it. I'm sure the deposit was probably insane or whatever so if the costume was worth $500, you're leaving a $500 deposit. Even in the episode, Jill says, I left a big deposit on this costume, which is the carrot costume.
Big ass carrot.
It is funny. Just the gags and someone calls her a radish at one point, and like it's
my favorite joke that I wrote down is when she tells Tim that she has picked out a scary costume. She's like, I have the scariest costume. And he goes, they have a costume that looks like you at 7 a.m. Fucking love that joke.
They do go back and forth.
So good.
They
There's
have
like
a really
banter
good
there.
banter.
Yeah,
really good.
Yeah.
And I think that was like one of the driving forces of the show is like, as funny as Tim Allen was, she could match it, right?
Yeah.
You know what I could compare it to? It's like Married with Children with Al and Peggy, but they loved each other, but it was really mean.
Yeah, they were a little more
This
hardcore.
was like a more like family safe kind of version of that.
Yeah.
Like Al Bundy would just flat out tell her he had never wanted to see her naked and all kinds of crazy stuff like that. She's disgusting and all this. Like, it's wild the stuff they got away with. Where with Home Improvement, it's a lot safer and it's a little more surface level. It's like there's a veil joke too where he's like, I think they make
they go back and forth. He's like, when I lifted the veil, and she's like, well, why were you wearing one or something like that?
Yeah. That was good. I wanted to talk about the kids just being absolute menaces.
I have that written down too.
Every time we do this, it always falls back on me hating on some kids, but like it's so true. The kids are so diabolical in this show.
Jill has
so grown.
She has beef with Curtis. Yeah, that little kid Curtis. Full on beef with this kid through the entire episode.
Why did he call her? He said to her, I like your costume. You don't get to see how fat you are.
Yeah.
I can't see how fat you are. Where did that come from?
I'm going to be honest. He kind of comes off as like a little autistic kid.
She shoves him like out of the bathroom later. She shoves him away from the bathroom. Like,
I don't know if that's what they were going for.
Beef.
I mean, I don't know if that's what they were going for, but it's like a little kid
so
with
the Curtis character was in a few episodes. He was a recurring friend of Brad's, and he was in like the earlier seasons, and he was just like the stereotypical like Urkel annoying neighbor next door kind of character.
Smart ass. Like, another thing he says to her, what's the son that dressed up like Raggedy?
Oh, that's Brad.
Why did Brad leave? And she's like, oh, he's probably just embarrassed about his costume. And he goes, then when are you gonna leave? What?
He does not like the mom.
What's his beef with her? This poor woman.
Yeah, they have legit beef in the episode.
Damn, they have to like
just
scrap.
This one? Has he done that with her before?
No. That's what I'm saying. Like they have that. Like in the few episodes. I think though, if I'm not mistaken, I looked it up earlier, and this was the last time that Curtis appeared. I think he just. It's one of those things where like the storyline he never came back after it.
Yeah, because he talked all that smack.
That's why they highlighted him in this episode. They were like, we're really going to just have him talk all this kind of crap to Jill and just insult her and then she's insulting him right back, and he's like 9. So it is, I agree. The kids are really sassy. And we talked about it earlier, how Jonathan Taylor Thomas, it's Brad, Randy.
Yeah, he's Randy, and then Mark is the youngest.
How Randy, they're gonna leave to go trick or treating. Like I said, I was like, why are they leaving the party? But then they come back later for the haunted house. But he's about to leave, and he's got a bag, his like trick or treat sack, and inside he's got eggs, shaving cream, toilet paper,
eggs, soap, shaving cream. Will you hatch one of these? Get a chicken, shave it, and give it a bath?
Asked us to pick up a few things. She said she didn't have time to go to the store.
Nice try.
And I do like how slick he was, where Tim is like, oh, what are you doing with all this stuff? And he's like, oh, Miss whatever, asked us if we could pick up a couple things on the way or something like that. Some groceries. And he's like, what are you going to do?
So smooth.
He's like, what are you going to do? Shave a chicken and give it a bath or something, he says. And it is really smooth.
He was wearing this, like, I don't know what other word to use, but he had like a slutty little pirate costume on,
Yes.
with his like chest out and his belly out. And I was like, this is a little boy. And I get that that's why all the girls liked him. He was so smooth.
Thomas was the coolest in the 90s.
He was so smooth. His delivery, his line delivery.
Yeah.
He's so smooth.
He was the it boy of the mid 90s there. When he hit like around,
him.
it was a few years after this, I think. It was maybe like when he was like in his teens, his early teens, preteens. But yeah, I remember him being huge. And you can see when you watch this episode, he really is the best of the three sons.
Cute. Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Like even in his acting and line delivery and his sassiness, he's the best. Good. Like Brad is whatever. He's a little choppy.
And then what's the other one who dressed up like his dad? Mark.
He's the one that becomes a goth. Laugh. He becomes a goth later on in the show too.
Oh, we gotta
it's
watch
just
that.
out of nowhere too.
We gotta watch that.
I will say this: I always remember that because I love how out of nowhere between seasons he becomes a goth kid.
That's
so good.
Funny.
It was so great. I always remember that. What a shift in
He starts
character.
wearing like parachute pants and chokers and stuff.
Painting his
like
nails.
You said, like one season to the next, it just happens. It's wild.
I think it's like they played it up as a joke that he enters the frame like at the beginning of the season. He's just a goth kid.
Yeah.
At this point, he's just he's like the youngest brother.
He's the youngest, right?
Yeah. So he's like the baby basically of the family.
Sick. I gotta watch that now. Now I'm intrigued.
Jonathan Taylor Thomas. I'll stick with that. He probably in this episode especially he shines the most.
Yeah,
he's just the most charismatic out of the three
He's
sons.
Such a cute kid.
That's why he was Simba.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah, you're right.
He was Simba.
He was the voice of Simba. One thing I want to highlight here is the house itself. Mm-hmm. It's basically like a Halloween dream.
Floor to ceiling.
It looks like Halloween vomited in this living room. So every nook and cranny, and I made a little list here of some of the stuff I noticed, but every nook and cranny, because for the most part, you see the kitchen, the living room, and the upstairs staircase. That's really all you see. It's an obvious set. But there's Beastle style Halloween cutouts all over the walls. I don't know if you guys noticed, but there's like a green monster head with glowing eyes inside of the microwave.
Yeah.
And then
I did not see that.
I was like, what decoration is that? That did not ring a bell. I don't remember seeing that. I'm guessing it was maybe a Halloween mask and they stuck some lights inside of it or something. And then she closes the microwave, which is an interesting place to put a Halloween decoration, a monster head
crank.
inside of the microwave. And then when she closes the microwave, there's a sign on it that says Black Cat Crossing.
I noticed that. Yeah.
There's a Happy Halloween banner. There's blow up skeletons. I do remember those skeletons. Sammy, I think we did have one of those at Grandma's house back in the day. It's like you gotta like sit there and it's like a 6 foot tall.
It's huge. Yeah.
I think they have two of them because there's even a joke where Tim later tries to offer one of them food. He tries to offer the balloon, the inflatable skeleton. It's not a balloon, it's an inflatable skeleton. Food. He's like, oh, why don't you eat something? Because it's bony.
Bones.
Good one, Tim.
There's giant plastic pumpkins. There's actual carved jack-o'-lanterns all over the fireplace, on shelves, on tables, in the kitchen. There's a motorized spinning witch. I don't know if you guys noticed that, it stops. It's like they turned it on for one take,
little scene to get it going.
And then in the next one, they turned it off. I guess maybe it made too much noise or something. There's a pumpkin loading zone sign. There's all kinds of sound effects coming from the basement. It's an excellent Halloween set.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of times, we've talked about, the Tunnel of Terror on Roseanne. And that's a great kind of very different from what they're, because Roseanne, that living room always looked darker and smaller. This is like, they're making some money.
They got like five different parts.
Local TV celebrity, right? Like,
it's got a lot going on. And the Catacombs of Terror downstairs, it's equally as magical. Like it's got, that too is a small set. You could just tell they don't, because they use the basement a lot on the show from what I remember.
Yeah.
It is a small set, but they were able to maximize it with cobwebs and then all the pieces, and then Tim emerging as Nana Stein.
I think it works in its favor that it's small too, because it feels claustrophobic and tight. Yeah.
which works well for a haunted, like a home haunt, which is what they were going for.
What a dream! What a dream! This is what, when they talk about owning a home, they don't mention creating a haunted house in your basement.
That's the real American dream. That is the American
dream. Okay.
The other set that I want to know, I'm curious of what you guys thought of, if you even noticed it. So my personal favorite, I love obviously the living room, the catacombs of terror, the haunted house in the basement. You know, that's like kind of the creme de la creme of the episode because that's where it ends. But I do like the backyard too. That's lined with corn stalks.
Yeah, I forgot about that. I was going to also mention, we talked about the show in general about, if you hadn't seen Home Improvement, again, if you're under 25, I feel like we didn't talk enough about the neighbor.
Well,
and that's a really big part of this show. Weirdly, Wilson. It's a strange Wilson. It's a really strange thing that
running
happens.
Running gag.
I've never seen anything like that.
Literally the entirety of the show until I want to say series finale. You don't see his face.
And it's good that you mentioned that because in this scene when Tim goes to the backyard, he goes to talk to Wilson, and there's a bunch of pumpkin lanterns, corn stalks, like I said. There's ghosts in the trees. There's like this great kind of, there's actually a scene later on I love, and we'll get back to Wilson in a sec, but there's a scene when they go to the backyard later when Tim talks to Brad about his female troubles. There's a great shot. The cinematographer was trying here. The camera moves. I guess they had it on a dolly.
Yeah.
And it moves right behind a pumpkin.
Yeah.
And there's some nice depth of field. That was like the camera guy. He tried there.
That's good for a
he
sitcom.
did it. Yeah, he did it.
Yeah.
Good for a sitcom, and like the autumn Halloween atmosphere in the back. It's obviously a fake backyard, but nonetheless, just the colors, the oranges, the browns. It's fantastic.
It's also like it all takes place at night.
Yes.
Save for the cold open, which I love. Halloween night is better than Halloween day, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I mean, there's something to say about dusk too. Like when the sun's setting on Halloween is kind of magical. It's kind of a magical time. But yeah, Wilson is back there carving. I said it earlier. He's
is carving.
He's carving himself.
A him pumpkin.
I don't know why I thought Al carved himself too. My apologies.
So Home Improvement was filmed in front of a live studio audience.
Yeah.
And even in like sitcoms, they would do they take a bow after a taping. Even the tapings, after they finished and took bows, Wilson's face was covered. The audience did not see what he fully looked like until the very last episode.
So wait,
crazy,
because I don't remember.
He would come out with like a mobile piece of the fence in front of his face, and take his bow with that there. I mean, obviously in his life, and people knew him from other works and stuff like that. But the running gag was like nobody knew what Wilson's face looked like until the very end. And apparently it was, I was just reading it real quick. It was inspired by a neighbor of Tim Allen's that he had growing up that used to talk to him over the fence, and he never really saw his whole face.
So wait, the show ends with him revealing his face finally?
No. Like it's in the last it's not the end of the show, but in the last episode, they finally do the
show
reveal.
His face. Yeah.
How did that happen? I don't remember that at all.
I remember that.
I think he just walked out from the backyard to Tim's yard and it's
like
there.
So underwhelming. It's just a guy.
Right. But it's just like after 9 seasons of building it up,
Yeah.
They finally showed his face from behind the fence. And they have a great little scene with him carving his face into the pumpkin.
Epinephrine. I learned that word. I never knew what that word was.
And Tim starts singing The Girl from Ipanema, and he's like, no, that's Ipanema. I said epinephrine.
I do like how he also grabs chains because Tim's asking him for chains, and he uses the chains to block his face while he hands them to Tim. It's a great little gag, and I always forget about Wilson. Like because he was always someone that he sort of just talked to in the backyard. Like he gave him advice.
It's so bizarre that it was they did it in every single episode for 9 seasons. I think that's so wild.
That was like his Yoda, the guy who gave him advice and told him how to handle. He was so
sweet always.
Yeah. He passed away.
Sweet.
He passed away.
R.I.P.
Years ago. I want to say
really? I didn't know.
Early 2000s, right after the run of the show.
Very distinct voice too.
Yeah.
He had a voice and a half.
The narrator voice.
Yeah.
And glucose supplies energy to the muscles, thus making them more efficient for fight or flight.
I don't care what it does. When Brad's friends see this catacomb of terror, there'll be epinephrine in their pants.
Is there anything else you guys wanted that you really loved about the episode you want to shine some light on?
I think you covered it. That's everything. Like, I really did have a great time with this episode. And I thought that, like I said, the banter between both Jill and Tim, and then Jill and the shitty kids was like my favorite part. Like, there were genuine parts that I laughed out loud.
I mean, again, it's and we'll kind of transition here into one. It's a nitpick. This isn't even a dislike or something I hate. I didn't hate this episode. This episode is a great Halloween special, but I will admit, it feels like they just kind of strung this together. They were like, "Well, make Brad have some drama." Yeah. That's really the plot. Like, nothing else.
It's a weird through line for the episode.
Yeah.
That's like the main plot.
And a jerky kid who gets scared at the end. I just feel like we didn't really. It wasn't like a beginning, middle, end. They each kind of. Yeah.
Because Brad's issue with the girl and Ryder Strong is resolved in like 8 minutes.
Yeah.
He walks downstairs, reveals that he's wearing the Raggedy Andy costume. She's not dressed up as Raggedy Ann. And then 5 to 10 minutes later, they're cool now. And Ryder Strong is running off like a wimp from the haunted.
He's like, "You're gonna go out with that guy?"
It just
what is his costume? Just what are their costume? Just tough guy costume?
Yeah, like punk. Yeah,
metal guy, bikers or something like that.
Leather hat girl.
Leather hat. I mean, there's even a
rock chick.
I think Curtis tells them like that their costumes aren't very good. Doesn't Curtis tell them that?
They're fucking not.
He's like, your guys' costumes are not great.
Curtis's costume fucking rules.
As
a
an
whole
actor.
solar system.
Yeah, it's pretty badass.
But yeah, the script department, it just wasn't even like going back to like the Roseanne episode when they have the Tunnel of Terror. Dan was trying to get a new client or something, and he was going to show up, and they were pranking each other back and forth throughout the whole episode. So that was sort of the plot. This is really, the plot is Tim and Jill prepping for the Halloween party, and then Brad's dilemma with Jennifer, right?
I feel like when that happens, it was pretty obvious that it's for the children. That's what I feel like. If you're going to do a Halloween episode, you're probably doing it for the children. They don't need anything crazy to happen. Boys have little crushes on girls, and that's it.
I even go back to the Boy Meets World episode we covered this year. Like, that has a good plot where he thinks he was bit by a werewolf.
It's great.
And it goes through the entire episode, and it's like, all right, he wasn't bit by the werewolf. He kisses the girl at the end. In this, it was just kind of like, okay.
It's also weird too to like, and again, just being nitpicky here, like to have Randy and Mark like go out trick or treat.
That's what I was saying.
It's almost like they didn't have a thing for them to do in the episode outside of just being in the haunted house at the end, right? Like they're in. They're one go scene in the beginning, and then they leave. Why would they leave their own house where their parents still are? It was kind of like a weird thing.
Yeah, it's just bizarre that, and then because they do pop up at the end, like you said, in the haunted house. Mark is dressed up, like I said, the severed owl body. But yeah, I just thought that was kind of like, why aren't they invited to the party?
Right, exactly.
So I don't know. Yeah, I just thought as far as, Halloween specials that are iconic and some of the ones we've covered in the past, it's got all the vibes. It's got all
the vibes are all there.
All the decorations are there, but there's really no lesson learned in the episode. So that's kind of my
biggest nitpick, and maybe this is strictly because it's on streaming, and I know like in streaming rights are all different. No changed opening.
Oh, you're right.
There was a point where like a jack-o'-lantern they do the prank in the intro.
Yeah.
And the jack-o'-lantern
comes up.
animation, but that's about it.
Right.
That's
Well,
about
that's
it.
a home improvement thing. They just did.
Mm-hmm.
So they have like these 3D graphics. There's like a ghost later
But they
on
would do
that
like cut to commercial.
it's transition from commercial to transition between scenes. So I do like that. But yeah, you're right. There's no.
I love
intro.
a themed opening, and they didn't do anything for this one.
This was season 2,
Right,
so maybe
right.
later
so maybe
on.
they did in the later ones. Who knows? Right?
I don't remember. Like,
Yeah,
I don't
exactly.
recall. And I've seen a good chunk of their Halloween episodes. Roseanne never did it either, though.
Yeah,
they did the end credits. They've done Halloween stuff.
Right.
So it does. It's not gonna be like South Park that did an entire.
I love like when an episode, like a theme episode, has an intro that ties with the theme. That's one of my favorite things about intros to TV shows.
Nothing.
Yeah, you think you know what to expect, and then
nothing beats a themed holiday, specifically Halloween intro to kind of match the episode. Sammy, do you have any dislikes? Any nitpicks with this episode? I know it's hard to nitpick these specials.
I mean, I also I had the same thing where it's like, I guess there's a storyline, like there are things that happen, but like, does anything really happen? I don't know. That's my only thing. I love the kids. And I never love the kids. But I think the boys,
interesting.
The boys are so cute, and they're just great actors, great child actors. Like I just enjoy them. And yeah, it's just Tim the Toolman Taylor is a tool. Man.
Well, that's why he's the tool man.
Yeah, I don't fucking like him. I don't like him, but I like this episode. I enjoyed it.
You're not in the camp with. You're not in the Tim Allen camp with Chris.
I like Tim Allen.
I'm waving the Tim Allen flag.
There's two different things. There's Tim Allen and then there's Tim Taylor.
Yeah.
There's The Rock and then there's Dwayne Johnson. Don't get it twisted. I love Tim Allen. Tim Taylor, kind of a dick.
I love The Rock. Dwayne Johnson. Not so much.
Not so much.
Oh God.
That's a good way to separate it.
Yes, there you go.
You know.
Final thoughts. We'll start with Chris. Final thoughts on Home Improvement, Haunting of Taylor House.
I think it's fun. I think it's a great title for an episode too. I don't
Haunting at Taylor. I said haunting of at Taylor
Haunting
House.
at Taylor, but it's also it is a play on the old Haunting of Hill House, right? And I think that's like a fun title. I think it's a fun Halloween episode. It's not like reinventing the wheel as far as sitcoms go in any way, shape, or form. I enjoyed it.
Sam?
I also enjoyed it. We revisited Boy Meets World recently, and after we finished watching it, I was like, I'm gonna binge this, and I have. I'm up to season 4 now. I started it from the beginning. I don't think I will walk away with the same experience. If anything, I'll tune into the cancer episode and the Halloween ones, okay? And then I'll probably cap it there. But I had a lot of fun. It was good. I liked it.
I'll say this. There is a better, I don't want to spoil it because we definitely will cover it again in the future. There is a better Halloween episode.
I think I know which one you're talking about.
You know which one I'm talking about. There is a better Halloween episode in a future season. I picked this one because it has references to 2 previous Halloween specials we covered this year. It's not my favorite Halloween episode. There are far superior ones. Outside of the decor and the costume gag with the carrot and some other, kind of little things sprinkled throughout, specifically the haunted house, the catacombs of terror. Just everything else about it's kind of lackluster with Brad's subplot. But I think it works well. Like if you want to have a Halloween special marathon this October, you can easily sandwich this in between 3 really good ones.
Yeah.
This is like I'm going to go get some chips while Brad's talking to Jennifer because this is the wackest part of the episode. So again, not top tier, not terrible.
Get some chips.
Yeah, I'm gonna go get some soda or something while Brad complains to her about dodgeball. Not top tier, not one of the best Halloween specials, but worth a watch. It's not one I personally revisit that often. It's not that magical. The decorations are magical. The basement haunt is magical, but some of the other stuff in it is not.
It's not very memorable. Yes. It doesn't stick in the brain.
Yeah,
But the mask in the beginning and the hands, I agree. That stuck in my brain.
Oh, all the Halloween stuff is great. It's just sort of like what it's about. Not it's little to be desired when it comes to like kind of the story they're trying to tell. Every sitcom has sort of the someone learned something or someone got their comeuppance.
Yeah.
All that happens is Ryder Strong gets scared, but we don't really get to know him enough throughout the episode to really give a shit.
Right.
So that's really my problem. I still say give it a watch. It's
for sure.
It's worth 20. It's worth a quick 20 minutes. And it has some solid Halloween vibes, and check it out. If you hate it, let us know.
Who are you? No, what are you?
Raggedy Andy.
Oh, that's right. It's Halloween. I'm sorry. Look out, Frankenstein. Look out, werewolf. It's Raggedy.
So that was Home Improvement, Haunting of Taylor House. Be sure to subscribe. Follow us on Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, Blue Sky, Facebook, @Haunted Hangover. Head over to hauntedhangover.com where you can find links to everything, including our Patreon page, where you can gain early access to episodes and bonus content.
And if you could rate and review us, that would be greatly appreciated.
And as always, remember, the best cure for a hangover is...
more booze.
More booze.